What is going on, YouTube? This is Jim back with another video, and today I want to talk to you guys about Capcom's goofy Switch statement. What exactly did those guys mean? So Capcom released a statement today. This actually comes from the CEO of Capcom, and I'm going to read to you the best translation that I have found on it, and it's on NeoGAF. It's one of the top posts. I'll post that in the description box below in case you want to read it for yourself. Here's what the quote says. As Capcom, we aim to bring games to all platforms and continue our research. As for the Switch, in May, we will release Ultra Street Fighter 2, and we will plan our support while looking at the situation of the platform. Now that's what the most direct quote I can find is. Here's what the press is reporting on this. In regards to the Switch, Capcom will look at how to support the Switch in the future by looking at Street Fighter 2 sales in May. Very different statements, okay? Or are they? I'm not entirely sure. You know, I went back and forth on this before I put this video together. And why does this matter so much? As a gamer, I am very much in love with Capcom as a company. Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, Mega Man. Staple games that really defined their generation at the time. Obviously Street Fighter, because that's what we're talking about, but I think you know that was implied. I remember playing these games when I was very young. As a matter of fact, one of my earliest memories is going to Starbucks, not the coffee shop. It was a local arcade in Altamont Springs where I grew up. My dad took me there, and all the kids were standing around playing Street Fighter 2 on the arcade, and I wanted to play, but I was young. My dad knew I was good at games, but I was timid, and he went up there and put a quarter, which back in the day meant you got next. He put a quarter up on the machine, and I was so embarrassed. And he's like, come on, I'm going to stand next to you while you play. They were all teenagers. I think I was like 8 or 9 at the time. And I got my, loser lost, moved on. Obviously, a loser loses, right? Moved on. And then I came on, and my dad put the quarter in the machine and stood next to me. And I was afraid the kids were going to beat me up or laugh at me. And they didn't. And I went on to win like 5 or 6 games in a row as Guile, not Ghoulie, Guile, because I knew how to play the game. And after I was done, they'd all give me high fives and, hey, man, you're pretty cool. What's your name? And that was awesome. So you see the smile on my face. I tell you guys this story because I have nostalgia for the company, and I like what they're doing. But I feel like what they're saying now really does bum me out. Now, if they decide to stop support on the Switch, okay, I have a computer, I have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation, so I'll be okay, right? I'm not going anywhere. But it's an odd statement to make because it kind of comes off as threatening, and I don't know what other way we could take that statement. So if you're going to put all your eggs in one basket, Capcom, this is just a little friendly advice from a guy who kind of like loves games and like understands this. I don't know why you guys don't. Don't put all your eggs in the Street Fighter 2 basket because that game is old. I mean, I told you the story when I was 8. That was 28 years ago, 27 years ago. That game is going to be your gateway into the Switch. Now, for comparison and for, all the facts, they did make a similar statement on the Wii and the Wii U, and they did go on to support them with some titles. So I don't know if it's the doom and gloom that the press is currently reporting, like Capcom's out if you don't buy Street Fighter. I'm personally not going to be picking up Street Fighter. I kind of thought I was at first because I like the idea of the shared health bar system. So if you guys didn't get a chance to watch my Nintendo Direct video that I did some time ago when they listed the new Nintendo Direct and they showed off Street Fighter, one of the new features they unveiled was this kind of joint health system where you could swap heroes out at any time, and it seemed like it'd be really cool. But for a $40 game, that doesn't seem that cool. And I just worry that, if they're really thinking that this is going to be the gateway into what the Switch is and what the Switch does, I think they're sorely mistaken. And it does come off as threatening, and it does come off in a very negative tone, and I don't even know why the CEO even said that. You know, yes, it is true. Everything is a business. And it is true that if you're not making money, you're going to pull out and go to something else. This is true on all Nintendo products ever since really past the Super Nintendo. I mean, you look at the support, the third-party support for Nintendo has been dwindling for years. It has a lot to do with the way Nintendo treated people back in the day. It has a lot to do with the fact that Nintendo's got some weird hardware and on a weird delivery cycle, and it's hard for these games to make these special Nintendo-only editions. I understand that. However, the Switch is in a unique position because it is gaining so much traction in that it is such a unique console, and most people are treating it as their new mobile console, their new second, console. You're really going to tick a lot of people off. And reading through the forum posts and reading what people have been saying about this, it's not pleasant. And I don't know why Capcom would even want to venture down that road to say that. So I guess the message here is be wary of what you say and be wary of how it's taken. And I understand there's a language barrier and there's even a culture barrier because a lot of, game companies are over in the East and their rules and their ethics and their mannerisms are different than here in America. And I understand that. But you got to understand also that when you speak as a head of a company, you're speaking to the world. And like it or not, the U.S. spends more than anybody else on games, bar none. And when you do stuff like that, you just basically take the major majority, the major portion of your audience and just piss them off. So what gives, Capcom? You're better than this. I know you're better than this. And what I'd like to see is Capcom come out in the next couple of weeks, regardless of the sales of Street Fighter, which I don't think are going to be that great, and say, hey, we're going to make a fun new Switch experience and get everybody wound up, and let's forget this whole thing ever happened, because it's bad blood and it shouldn't be there. And it's I say this word a lot, an unforced error. So think about that. Anyways, it is the weekend. I am really excited. I got a really cool video for you guys tomorrow night. So stay tuned for yet another unboxing video. My friends know what it is, but for everybody else who doesn't, come back and check it out. Have a great weekend, everybody. As always, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Get out there and don't put your foot in your mouth. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.